Hello, you sexy and gorgeous creature. Welcome to Practice Intimacy. This is the place to be to learn all about love, sex, and how to have the best relationships you possibly can. Okay, today we're going to tackle a big subject. Rejection. Rejection in relationship. So, fear of rejection is one of the primary things that I experience in my office that stops people from reaching out in a vulnerable way. And it's either fear of rejection around I won't be emotionally met in the way that I'm hoping to. I'm going to reach out emotionally and my partner will not be able to meet me there. Or I will reach out sexually and my partner will not be able to meet me there. So let's talk about it. This is a big subject. We could probably talk about this many times. I might do many videos on this one subject because it's so prevalent and it's actually pretty hard to change the way that you feel about this one, but it is possible. And I am living proof of that. I have experienced it and I have also watched clients go through change in this area. So let's just talk about what fear of rejection is, some different ways that you could potentially think about it that could help you shift out of that fear, and then maybe a practice that you could do to help yourself if you're experiencing it. Okay? What is fear of rejection? So anytime somebody says that, what they're communicating is, I am terrified of being shown I'm unlovable in some way. That's really what people are communicating. There's two things that are almost universally true in my experience. Fear that I am somehow not enough or too much, that I am unacceptable in some way. And then what's under that is, if that's true, then that means I will not get love. And every single person on this planet, so long as your brain is whole and healthy and you are not a sociopath, even then, but there's some differences there. But tangent, get out of here, tangent. Every person on this planet wants to be loved and accepted and feel as though they belong. Like, this is the thing that we're all craving deeply and looking for in our lives. Even if it doesn't look like that's true, that is almost always happening inside of a person. Almost always, if they're having struggles in relationship. And so fear of rejection is fear that I am somehow unacceptable. And because of that unacceptability, I'm too much, I'm not enough, I will not be loved. Pretty scary. Right now I'm saying it with a smile on my face and some laughter in my voice, but I remember what it feels like. I watch people go through that fear and pain. It is terrifying. It feels like death, truly. Like, to walk through the parts of us that have taken in the message that we are fundamentally unlovable and will be rejected by others. That feels like death terror because we are communal creatures who need each other in order to survive. And so this is a big deal. Like, fear of rejection, it's a big deal. Don't think that me saying, hey, you could work on this means that you shouldn't be afraid of it. I get why you're afraid of it. I get why I'm afraid of it sometimes. And there is another way to be. So let's talk about the internal shifts you could make. I think that it is nearly impossible to actually experience total rejection. Like, if you were a sociopath with zero intimacy and no ability to connect with others, yeah, you might get rejected. True. For the rest of us, absolute certainty of rejection? I don't believe it. Especially if you're in a relationship with somebody who's chosen to be with you and continues to choose to be with you and is trying. Like, I don't think that the absolute certainty that terror believes is true. And so how can you start undoing this? Well, the best way is actually to dive into and be with the terror and try and figure out, where did I learn this? Where did I learn that I am fundamentally unlovable and that people will reject me? And can you take care of that part of yourself? Can you meet it with love? Can you come into a space where you actually truly love yourself deeply, and you can say on the inside, I've got you. I will never leave you. I love you. And I always will. Because when that feels totally true to you, then it's going to be easier to look at moments that feel like rejection with curiosity and openness, which is the next goal. How can I be curious and open to what my partner is attempting to communicate to me, either about me or about them, in these moments that feel like rejection? I want to make this super clear. I'm going to try and find an example. Okay. So sometimes it's about them, sometimes it's about you. I'm going to use an example from my own life. I had a partner who was less sexual than me. And when they would say no to sex, it felt like a deep rejection. It felt like they didn't love me. It felt like they didn't want me. And the work that I had to do to get to a place of no longer feeling that sort of fear and rejection, and this is about me not being enough, was to have a really good psychological boundary. And to have a really good psychological boundary, the thing that came out of this was the awareness that, oh, their sex drive has nothing to do with me. I can't be sexier in order to get them to want me. It's not about wanting me or thinking I'm sexy. It's not that at all. This is purely a them thing. They have a lower sex drive. They're not as interested in sex as I am. And so when I want to have sex all the time, they're probably like, what is this about? That's not normal. I was taking it as rejection when really it had nothing to do with me. Let me ground this in a different idea. I'm thinking about a couple where for one person it feels like rejection because their partner does not want to do specific things with them sexually. And I might move to a different example, but right now sex is a big one that I'm seeing in my work and in my life previously, so I know about this one pretty well. This person wants to do specific things and it feels like a rejection of them when their partner's like, no, that doesn't sound good to me. I would not be interested in doing that particular activity. And this person takes it on to mean I am bad and dirty in some way because I want to do these things. And so the work would be, how can I be with this part of myself and know that it is not bad or dirty or wrong? It's just that we have differences, and that's okay. It is okay for my partner to be different, and maybe I will have to take care of this one longing inside of myself that's not going to be met in this relationship, and decide, is the relationship still enough even if I don't get to do these sexual activities that would be fun for me? This is not easy work I'm talking about. This is like months to maybe even years of working with your internal world so that you're not triggered by another person's needs and desires. Is there more to give example about? Yes. What about when it is about you? So sometimes the realization is this has nothing to do with me. It's just there's a difference here, and my partner is communicating something about them that is making it impossible to give me the thing that I'm hoping for. And then I feel rejected. But what if it actually is about you? In that case, thank you for the opportunity to do self-work. That's the perspective I would hope you can take on. Thank you for the opportunity to do self-work. I am so glad that my partner is communicating no that feels like rejection, and their no is grounded in something that I am doing that does not feel good to them. Maybe they're saying, no, I don't want to emotionally connect with you right now because you are coming at me with a flood of emotions and you're not taking in my care and compassion. And I'm taxed now. I can't keep doing it. I can't just keep pouring compassion into a well that is not actually taking it in. Or maybe the rejection would be, I'm going to do a really simple one that's actually super common. Maybe the rejection is, I don't want to kiss you because you just had a beer, or whatever. Like, who knows? I don't want to kiss you because your breath smells bad. And that one's painful. It does not feel good. That sort of rejection is like, oh, ow. But thank you for that feedback. Yeah, maybe I need to change my behavior. And alcohol is one that does make breath stink. I've heard many, many different people talk about, like, my partner had a glass of wine and now I don't want to have sex, or my partner had a beer and now I don't want to have sex because my disgust reaction is coming up and I can't get turned on when my disgust is coming up. And it's not, you're a bad person, I'm rejecting you. No, it's just that I am rejecting something that I don't like, and you could change it. So I do want to say, like, dental hygiene is something that people cannot change. You can change behavior around alcohol or eating things that make your breath smell. Dental hygiene is harder. You can work on it for sure. And you can do things to promote, like, I'm going to try and make it to where you feel better kissing me. And that's not a problem. You can check out this video if you would like. I made a video about one funny tip, a thing you can do for your sex life, and it's all about dental hygiene so that your partner feels comfortable and excited kissing you. So watch that one. But yeah, sometimes it's actually about you. It's about your behavior or something you're doing that you could possibly change. If they say something to you like, I'm going to go with an obvious one, you've gained weight, like, that's not about you. Don't take that in as about you. It's not. That would be their stuff that they're having to work through. Have a really good psychological boundary around the fact that, like, nope, that is not mine. That is yours. That is your fat phobia. I'm not going to take it in. This is so nuanced. Man, this being alive and trying to figure out how to navigate challenges in relationship, it's not easy. I don't want to pretend like it is, but there are things you can do to either keep unpleasant experiences from touching your heart in the way they do now. And you do that by healing the parts of you that feel broken, unacceptable, not good enough, too much. Heal those. And then your partner won't be able to trigger them in the same way. I say your partner won't be able to trigger them. You won't be triggering yourself in the same way based on what other people are doing around you. Your partner's not intentionally triggering you. It's just their being, and you have trauma in your history and pain points, and that needs to be healed. Or, on the other hand, things are opportunities for you to actually look at yourself and see, okay, where am I acting in ways that could change, that might actually promote a greater sense of intimacy, promote more connection, promote more closeness, whatever it is. And these are hard questions to ask yourself. It's not easy work. I do always suggest, like, finding help, work with a coach, work with a therapist, get a mentor, do things to get assistance as you are on your personal growth and healing journey. But do it, because your life will be better on the other side, and you can eat rejection fear for breakfast instead of going, oh God, I'm gonna die now because this person is not responding in the way I was hoping. I'm making light of it again. It's not that simple, but it has gotten to a place in my life where rejection does not feel nearly as scary. And sometimes I'm actually like, oh, I'm so thankful that I'm having this experience. This is wonderful. I get to look at my shame again. I didn't know that was still in there. I'm going to work with it now. Great. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it is helpful. Please leave me comments. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.